talk a little bit about your mother and what she meant to you?
My mother was also my friend because I could discuss anything with her. And she would give me answers or tell me that I would have to learn about this um, through experience. Sometimes she didn't have an absolute answer for me, and she would say that. And as I got older, of course, I love the idea that she said that because you look for parents to have solutions to everything, and that's not really the case. So she was my friend and my mom. I used to love to cook for her because she would compliment me on everything. And again, as I got older, I recognized some of that was just to keep me inspired because I had to be a terrible cook at that age. But musically, she taught me and my brothers about music, about songs, great songs.
Hold on one second. Could we go ahead and take that back and you say what she taught you musically?
Okay, musically, she taught me about songs, great songs, what made great songs, like the lyrics and the melody and the feeling. And it's not always the singer, how great the voice is, but how you buy what they're saying, how it touches you. And that was another wonderful lesson because great singers that can touch you is fantastic. What I mean by great singers is great voices. But voices that you feel are just as important and just as wonderful. You take that and a song and a lyric and put it together, you're in heaven. So these things I learned from her at an early age. Yes.
Could you comment a little bit about the time of her death and what maybe that was a turning point in your life and how what that served for, I guess, to you as I guess like a young man?
Uh, my mom's death was, I figured that my world had kind of come to an end because I did not have anyone to communicate to like I did with her. But I also felt that it was like starting over. And I remembered some of the things that she taught me. So in starting over, I had to start with the knowledge that she left me with. And that was to be strong, go after your dream, stay with it. Sometimes things are going to change or fail or not work, but if you stay on the path, better things will come from it. There's nothing, take any negative and turn it into a positive. These kind of things kind of stayed with me and made me really want to get out of Detroit and see the world. Fortunately for me, I had an opportunity to see the world from Detroit through Motown, which was great. But she gave me that inspiration and made everything turned around because of her.
I know there was some time between, a short amount of time between your mother's death and when you enlisted in the Army. And I'm sure you were taking care of your brothers and sisters and all that, amongst all that. Can you comment a little bit about that time and what that was like?
Well, when my mother passed, and from that time on, of course, my grandmother took over to take care of us. That was a little difficult for me and the rest of my brothers and sisters. During that time, I got into a lot of little trouble, did a lot of crazy things like teenagers do. And my best out to save myself was to join the Army. I joined the Army at a younger age than I should have been. I think it was a 17 at the time, and I went in at 16. I lied about it. My grandmother backed me up just so I can stay out of trouble, real trouble I was headed for. And so the Army became a home for me. As a matter of fact, after about the first year, I wanted to make a career out of the Army. And it was good for me. It taught me a lot of self-discipline. And I'd started doing entertainment in the Army, special services and stuff like that. That was great. And would have made an Army the career for myself, but I came home on furlough, and this is really unusual. I came home on furlough, and I went to see an amateur hour show at the theater. Now, the theater in Detroit at the time was like the Apollo Theater in New York, where we had amateur shows, and then we had a major artist would come in and perform, and you saw a movie and all that sort of thing. Well, at this time, they had Jackie Wilson coming to coming to our theater as the main artist. And there was the amateur show, and then they had Jackie Wilson as the star. That was fantastic, because he was one of my favorite artists. Now, when I go to the amateur show, and I saw the amateurs singing and doing their thing, 4 guys came out. They were called the 4 Aims. And when they hit the stage, they were fantastic. They sang blues, jazz, moved, all great harmony, all in one song. Rock, roll, rock, everybody. They were incredible. And I said, man, these guys are going to be stars. And I said, I like this business. So when I went back to the service, I decided I was not going to stay to make the Army a career. I was going to go into show business. And wonderful thing happened. Those 4 guys that I saw at that time, years later, I had the opportunity to sign to Motown, and they are the 4 Tops. That was incredible. When I saw them again in New York years later, and I told them, you guys got to come and sign with me at Motown. And they said, what? Well, why? We sang jazz. I said, you sang songs. I remembered you at the theater in Detroit singing, and I sang their song for them right then and there, and they was shocked. They said, Mickey Stevenson, we'll see you in Detroit. They came in and signed the contract with me at Motown, and, of course, the rest is history. Yeah.